Hi fans of high quality entertainment. In this video, I'm going to show you 20 albums that when I bought them, I was either disappointed or, just maybe mildly disappointed or really disappointed, or even I hated the album. And I've been really looking forward to doing this video because, some videos, I think sometimes all of us YouTube channels, we get into a little bit of a rut sometimes, kind of almost going through the motions. It's like, not that I don't enjoy doing, every video I enjoy doing, but some more than others. And then there's just times when you get more ideas in your head. And I feel I'm kind of been on a roll lately with ideas that my viewers seem to, for the most part, appreciate. So thank you. And as always, please like the videos and leave comments below and all of that crap. And I would love, I did ask in my community and I got some great responses. If you go to my front channel and just click on community, and just scroll down a bit, you'll see all of the answers. As I was saying before I started choking. Yeah, if you go to my front channel and you should see community, click on that and just scroll down a bit, you'll see all of the answers to albums that people bought and they were, really disappointed in, but they ended up being, a favorite album of theirs. So I have ranked these, but I really like all of these, or love all of these. Number 20, it's the one Pink Floyd album I just could never get into until I bought this remix recently, 2018 remix. It's still far from my favorite Pink Floyd album, but I do enjoy this a lot more now. So it's at number 20. Number 19, and in case you don't know, I'm doing this series on Grant's Rock Warehouse on this artist, and we did cover this album earlier. We're, I think, over halfway done his discography, so please subscribe to Grant's Rock Warehouse if you're interested in Captain Beefheart. And this is the Spotlight Kid, not one of the most loved Captain Beefheart albums. And when I bought it, I thought it was, wasn't bad, of course. I thought it was okay, but certainly not, one of my favorite Captain Beefheart albums. And now I feel I just enjoy it a lot more in the last couple of years. And I really, really like this album. Once again, it's not my favorite Captain Beefheart album, but I think it's a very good album. So it's number 19. And I've also made a Spotify playlist with one song from each of these albums, in case you're interested in checking any of them out. 20, 19. Number 18. Yeah, I started to really appreciate this album maybe 2 or 3 years ago. And I just feel it's, once again, very underrated. And for most of these, it's not their best album, but I just feel all of these albums are better than most fans think they are. So, the Rolling Stones, Emotional Rescue. I think this is a really good album. Is it as great as Sticky Fingers or even Goat's Head Soup? No. But still, this is really good. I love it. Number 17, once again, most fans of these artists would have most of these albums, ranked kind of low. And when I bought this, once again, I thought it was good, but it wasn't as great as his previous albums. And so I didn't really play it that much, kind of almost ignored it. And then I would say maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I started to play it more, and I started to appreciate it more. And I think it is, once again, maybe not his best album, maybe not even in his top 10, but still, I think this is a really, really good album. It is Frank Zappa's The Man from Utopia. Number 16. This artist, his first few albums were just so good. When this one came out, once again, I was, kind of disappointed in it a little bit. Through the years, I grew to like it. There were like 2 or 3 songs I loved. But I would say, once again, maybe in the past 5 years or so, I've played this more and more, and I love it as much as his earlier albums. And this would probably be in my top 5 Elvis Costello albums. Blood and Chocolate, with the Attractions and a cracked case that I have to replace. Yeah, some of these I have talked about before, but there's new albums added. This one, yeah, when I bought this, I was a huge fan of this band, and this was the first time I felt let down by this band. It just seemed, it was different, and I don't think the production helped. It still doesn't help today. It could have been better produced, but the songs are great. I learned, through the years, I would play it once in a blue moon, and I just grew once again to really appreciate this album. And now, I think it's my favorite studio album of theirs, or at least in the top 2 or 3. Grand Funk Railroad Survive. Look at those cavemen. Number 14. Yeah, this was their debut album. I absolutely loved. I loved their 3rd album, their 4th album. I actually could have chosen another one of their albums too. It's kind of same thing. When I bought this, their 2nd album, I was not impressed. I liked, I think, the first 2-3 songs, and then after that, just couldn't connect with the album. And when I bought the box set, about 3 years, no, before I bought the box set, listening to it on Spotify, I didn't even have the album. Listening to it on Spotify, it's like, hey, this is actually better than I remember. And so I got to really, really, play it more and more, buy the album, get the box set. And now I absolutely love The Clash, Give 'Em Enough Rope. Number 13. Now this is a very good, excellent prog rock band. But when I bought this, it was still proggy, but it was more poppy prog. And so, because it was different, it kind of turned me off. It's like, oh, this is more, commercial or whatever. And I didn't really care for it. But through, maybe a year or so, I would play it once in a while. And I grew to absolutely love this album. So I feel it's as good as their proggier albums. Nectar, Down to Earth. This is a recent one in the last year. Yeah, I bought the one album in, I think, 79, late 70s, came out, my favorite album by this artist. The next release, I believe in 1980, I bought it. I bought it in California. And I played it maybe, I played it once. I think I might have played it twice, but I was just so turned off by it because it was different than the previous album that I really loved. And so I ignored it for years and years and years. And when Taste Like Music, the YouTube channel, was doing Bob, and they're still doing it, they're talking about each album in a video. And when they got to this one, they gave it a better rating and review than the previous album that I absolutely loved, which I was, surprised at. And I thought, maybe I need to listen to that again. So I listened to it on Spotify, and I really enjoyed it. And I love it now. It's Saved by Boom Dylan. Yeah, I just never gave this album the time of day back when I bought it. I listened to it maybe, like I said, twice, and then that was it. Number 11, once again, one of my all-time favorite bands. This was the first album I bought by them that I was disappointed in. I think right from the get-go, the very first song, they were more commercial. They had female backup singers. And at that time, I was kind of put off by that. Not today. But, I just wanted them to rock, right? And it's still, it is more of a poppy rock album. But I think today, I would say after I got the box set. So I've really loved this album for the last 5-6 years. It is Mirrors by Blue Oyster Cult. Yes, it's more commercial. And it's not as great as, Secret Treaties or Agents of Fortune, but I still feel it's a great album. Now we get into I don't know what that was. Now we get into the top 10. See, I'm excited. Yeah, number 10. And some of these too, it's because you read in magazines or maybe later on the internet, most fans don't like a certain album. And so before you hear it, you've got that in your head. Oh, it's not a very good album. And I think that's the way I came into hearing this album for the first time. So I played it, said, yeah, it's not one of his best. And I would kind of ignore it. I play it once in a blue moon. And then just when, it always happens. It's just one day you play the album again after ignoring it for a good year or whatever, and you connect with it. And I love Sally Can't Dance by Lou Reed. Yeah, and before I wanted to do this video of the 20 albums here that I picked, there were I think 4, maybe 5 albums that I needed to hear one more time just to make sure where they would go in the ranking. And I'm so glad I played this because at first it was near the bottom and it just, after I played it, I moved it up. So once again, their debut album I loved. And when their second album came out about a year later, so disappointed. I played it maybe 2 times. I thought it was just too poppy, kind of corny. And just, yeah, I almost hated it, I would say. And then through the years, I gradually, would listen to it once in a while. I warmed up to it. And now I think it is an absolute masterpiece and probably their best album. So I'm talking about Klaatu, and this is a twofer, but I'm talking about their album Hope. It's a symphonic prog pop rock masterpiece. Number 8, I've talked about recently, For the longest time, my favorite Talking Heads album was Fear of Music, and I never really cared for Remain in Light, except for, 2, 3 songs. Once in a Lifetime I loved, and Cross-Eyed and Painless. The other songs, once again, I never connected with, didn't really care for. Thought they were boring, I guess. And now, at the moment, this is my favorite Talking Heads album, Remain in Light. This one I played last night because it had been a few months and it moved up. Yeah, when this came out, this was once again just a letdown. I liked it, but I didn't love it like I loved their previous albums. And even the production back then I thought wasn't great. I think the production now, I've kind of warmed up to it. It's 80s, so it's definitely got that 80s sound. But it's a fun, lighthearted album. It's certainly not their best, but I've just grown to really appreciate it. And now I can say I love Sparks pulling rabbits out of a hat. Like I said at the beginning, there's times when you buy an album, maybe you don't even know the band, but you buy the album. Well, actually, I did have an album before I bought this one, so I did know the band. So I was expecting more, to just love the album right away, or at least like it, and I hated it. I hated it. In fact, after I played it, I put it away, and I didn't play it for maybe a month. And then one day, because I was bored, I took it out again and I played it. I didn't love it, but I kind of warmed up to it a bit. I said, oh, okay, I'm kind of liking some of these songs. And now I love the whole album. It is Ween the Pod. This is fairly recent too, and I have talked about it. When this album came out, it was a disappointment. It's not that I hated it. I did like it, but like I said, I was disappointed in it. And so it was certainly, and for most fans of this band, it would be ranked pretty low. And maybe even with all of their albums, it would still be, near the bottom or at the bottom. But I still think this is a fantastic album. I love this album today. Led Zeppelin, In Through the Outdoor. This one, number 4. Once again, I played it last night because I've only played this when I bought this. I had heard it in the past and I didn't like it. I didn't hate it, but I didn't like it. And so when I ended up buying this, because I was starting to get back into the Stardust, the first time I played it, I was thinking, oh, it's not as bad as I remember. And then I played it again. It's like, I actually really like this. There's good songs on this album. And I played it again last night, and I think it's a great album. But some of you will disagree, and that's okay. That's okay. It's just me. I love this album. George Harrison, Dark Horse. Yes, his vocals, and not on the whole album, by the way, I feel. It's only a couple of tracks where his vocals are bad. But even those, like the song Dark Horse, I still, because it's George Harrison singing, it's like, oh, George has a cold. But he still connects with me with the song and his, the lyrics and the vocals, and the music is great. So I think this is very underrated. It is a great George Harrison album. It's not as good as, All Things Must Pass or Living in the Material World, but it's still, for me, a great album. I had to change the battery in my camera. Okay, we're down to the top 4. So this album, when I bought it, I liked it, but I didn't like it as much as some of their more, I feel, underrated albums. But this definitely is loved by a lot of fans. I just didn't love it myself. But once again, it just clicked with me, I would say in the past year or so, and I think it's a masterpiece. It is the band Music from Big Pink. Yeah, Cahoots used to always be my favorite album by the band, but of course, now I realize just how great of an album this is. So this is my favorite band album. Now, number 3, I have the box set over there, so I've just got the disc here. Yeah, so once again, kind of talking about critics and, reading magazines and then later the internet. And some fans kind of bashing this album, saying it's not his best or even it's not very good. And I felt the same way, but I didn't really listen to it. and until it came out again a few years back, I bought the 2-disc, and that's when I warmed up to the album at last and loved it. And I ended up buying the huge box set for it. I'm talking about Red Rose Speedway by Paul McCartney and Wings. Yeah, I used to think Little Lamb Dragonfly was really corny, and the medley at the end I thought was not very good, but I love it today. I had an extra CD in my hand, so this isn't part of the ranking, but I believe I got them all, so this must be number 1. And in my community, if I remember, Anthony, one of my viewers, wrote this very nice thing about this album. And I think this happens to some music fans. When they first hear this album, they think, yeah, it's not my cup of tea, man, or yeah, it's okay, but it's not one of the greatest albums of all time, And some of you might feel that way forever, and that's fine. But I was one of those people that liked the album, but I never thought it was anything, I just thought it was a very good album, but I didn't see it being one of the greatest albums of all time, and now I do, just like this person does here, if I remember to put his comment. And of course, I'm talking about the friggin' Beach Boys' Pet Sounds. It's when I listen to, because I've had this album for years, an earlier version of this, and it was just one day, I don't think I even had the album on CD then. And one day I listened to it on Spotify, and it was the 50th anniversary. And it just sounded so amazing. So I bought this particular remaster or remix from 2016. And I love it. Absolutely love it. It would definitely be one of my top 10 albums of all time. I don't know if it would be my favorite Beach Boys album. There might be one or two above this. That's how much I love the Beach Boys. But this is, for me, amazing. And what I'm trying to get across to anybody watching this is, you might for one of these albums, you might say, oh, that wasn't very good. But have you listened to it recently? Go listen to it. You might actually like it more than you think you do. Just because you didn't like an album, a few years ago doesn't mean you can't listen to it again with fresh ears, and possibly, not all the time, believe me. There are albums that I've given so many chances to, and it's like, forget it. I don't like it. But it does happen, and it's the best. It's just cool when it does. When an album, like the George Harrison, I'm such a big George Harrison kick lately. And I just realized, as much as I knew his solo career was really good, it's way better than really good, I feel. And that is it. Thank you for watching. Have a great day. Please remember to thumbs up the video and leave a comment below. And subscribe. Goodbye.